It's your daily dose of Donna. Welcome to the show. Today is Tuesday, June 10th. How is everyone doing today? I'm feeling much better today. Yesterday was a sad day in the justice system, and today feels a lot more positive. Freedman gave us a good response. I am feeling like we have a new life injected in the justice system. Are you guys feeling the same way? I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm feeling like there's some positive news amongst some shitey news that we got yesterday. Welcome to the show, everyone. You guys, yesterday I hit 46,000 YouTube subscribers. How exciting is that? 46,000 of you have chosen to join me here on the Daily Dose of Donna train. Hello, dosers. Look at this. Cynthia, I can't believe that this is your first live. I feel like I always see you in my comments and my DMs. Oh my God, Tulsi, caught you live for Justin. Welcome, everyone. Tanya says it's your birthday and it's my birthday tomorrow. Geminis unite, 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 unite. Okay, everyone, we're going to collectively come together today because I believe in the power of positive thinking. It's going to work out, y'all. It's going to work out. Everything's going to be fine. Yesterday was a bad day. It was. June 9th was not the day. It was not the day for us, but things work out. And I felt it when I woke up this morning and I saw the tides were a turning. And then sure enough, while I was still just waking up, Bryan Freedman came back with a 1-2 punch. And then we had an amazing witness on the stand for Karen Reed's trial. We're going to be talking about all of it. Don't you worry. All of that and more. Are we going to see justice for Justin Baldoni? Are we going to see justice for Karen Reed? I am very, very looking forward to it. We have so much to talk about today. I can't wait to expose all the corruption. Let's just lay it all out today. It is your daily dose of Donna. Oh my gosh, I get these. Welcome to the show, everyone. I get these page 6. Somehow, stupidly, probably, I get page 6 notifications on my desktop. You know how sometimes you sign up for things and you're like, wait, why'd I do that? But sometimes it works out, right? I get these page 6 notifications, and my notification said Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom facing relationship tension. And I'm thinking, and it says that it's because of her devastating album, like because her album is flopping. And I'm thinking, do you really think that Orlando Bloom is walking away from Katy Perry because of her album? Like that's what did it in. That's the thing that made him wake up and say, like, maybe she's annoying. Do we really think that was the final straw? That was like, he's like, well, now that she went to space, I guess I can walk away from that. Oh, I mean, listen, I am not one to talk crap about annoying people because if you know me, that's the first thing people say about me. The first thing people say about me is, Donna, you are so annoying. And I'm like, thanks. Thank you. Well, if you guys are here for the first time, make sure to let me know in the comments. I love to shout you out if you're a Daily Dose of Donna virgin. Just really bring you in strong and hard. Shout you out for the rest of the world. Thank you so much. Black Angel says they have until the 29th to amend or appeal. It's not over, friends. I think they have until the 23rd, but we're going to talk all about that. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. We're going to have fun talking about it. I'm going to explain everything that I heard from his reaction. Bryan Freedman spoke out. We were worried. Listen, Bryan Freedman is not one to shy away from the press. And thank you for the super chat, Black Angel. Bryan Freedman is not one to be quiet. Okay. Bryan Freedman's a little bit like me. We're yappers. One thing I always got in trouble for my entire life was talking too much. Luckily, I made a business out of it. I got in trouble for talking too much in school. I got in trouble for talking too much at every event I've ever been at. I get in trouble for talking too much at my gym classes. I get in trouble for talking too much everywhere I go. And now I just get paid to talk too much. Bryan Freedman talks too much. And allegedly, according to, you know, what the people that hate Bryan Freedman say is that the judge hates that he talks too much to the media. I also don't even know if that's the truth. Oh, oh my God, just you wait when I get into the wackadoodle doctor. You know how Zach Peter calls her the wackadoodle Me Too doctor? Oh, the way I was punching air. I was so upset watching wackadoodle Dr. Leslie yesterday. If you guys know the story about that, I was so mad. But the point is, he's been kind of silent, the Mr. Freedman, in the last few days, in the last few weeks about this Justin Baldoni case. Now, he also has a job other than Justin Baldoni. He's been representing other clients. I mean, he's been fighting Vin Diesel's case, and he just won Vin Diesel's case. So he has been doing other things, but he was quiet yesterday, and I was a little bit nervous. But then he did come back yesterday, and it did make me feel better last night, or this morning, I should say, when he did respond. So let's go through what he did actually respond to. He spoke to Daily Mail. I think he just spoke like specifically to Daily Mail. I don't know. Actually, let's see if it was like a specific to Daily Mail or did he speak just a general response. Let me just pull up the exact. Okay, here we go. Thank you so much for your super chat, Meyer. Now that we know that the judge tends to grant dismissals, Freedman will probably file a motion to dismiss. He can use the sham lawsuit as reason. Except Meyer, and look, I'm not an attorney, and I want to say that very clearly. I don't know if he wants to dismiss the case because I don't think he's worried about losing the case. I actually think he thinks he's going to win this case. And I think he's right. I don't think he wants to lose. He wants this case to be dismissed. I think he wants to go all the way with this case. I don't think he's actually worried about Blake Lively's original claims by any means, which is why he went so balls to the wall with it. See, I did get a couple. Let's first go through his response, and then I'm going to go through my analysis after watching so many. Thank you, Vilo90, for becoming a member. After watching so many different analysis yesterday, I watched a lot of lawyers' analysis. I read a lot of comments. I read a lot of tweets. I mean, I really tried to deep dive why. And Emily D. Baker actually spoke about this a little bit, which is shocking because she hasn't spoken about this case at all since the beginning, remember? And she's been heavily focused on Karen Reed, but she did speak about this. So I'm going to read what she wrote about it as well. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about Bryan Freedman's response. It says, Unshaken Justin Baldoni fights back as judge rules his extortion case against Blake Lively is not over. So it says Blake Lively claims to have scored total victory, but the Daily Mail can exclusively reveal that only the defamation part of the lawsuit was tossed. And Baldoni's team have been allowed to file an amended complaint, leaving Blake Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, still fighting a battle over 4 more claims. 4 more claims, guys, not 2. Yesterday, the whole thing was 4, but it's actually 2. But now we know it's 4 more claims. Okay, 4 more claims. That's big, you guys. On top of that, the 4 more claims ranging from invasion of privacy to civil extortion, Baldoni's lawyers claim. On top of that, the Daily Mail can also exclusively reveal that Lively is facing being deposed by Bryan Freedman, and that a motion to do that was just filed last week. Now, can you remember how scared Miss Lively was of Bryan Freedman deposing her? Do you guys remember that? Bryan Freedman, Blake Lively specifically filed a motion to the courts, to Judge Liman, asking specifically to not let Bryan Freedman depose her. She is petrified over Bryan Freedman deposing her. That is, my friends, a huge issue. So, if you want to remember that, like, Bryan Freedman deposing Blake Lively is her worst nightmare. This is horrible for Blake's case. Can't remember that. I mean, you can't forget that. We have to truly remember that the worst is yet to come for Blake, because the original claims here is that she is filing a lawsuit that Justin Baldoni sexually harassed her with no evidence. Let him depose her and let her fail to show any claims or evidence. Thank you, Anne-Marie. Welcome back. I miss you, my love. Hit the like and subscribe, guys. Thanks, guys. How many likes do I have right now? I always like to kind of monitor that while I'm here. I never can know. You guys, let me know how many likes. Okay. Patricia says, if I lied my ass off, it would be my worst nightmare too. Same here. No liars like to get deposed. No liars like to get on the stand. Ask Jen McCabe. Ask her. Okay, Corey says only 79 likes. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. Until we get to 100, we can't continue. Until we get to 100 likes, I can't continue to read. I'm Leah Michelleing it until 100. Okay. Do I read that some of you guys are on Discord talking about me? Okay, I'm at 118 already. You guys are fast. All right, let's keep going. 123 now. Keep going. Tell me when we're at 250. If we get to 250, maybe I'll do a little dance for you guys. Okay. You're like, wait, what? I didn't ask for that. I don't want to dance, but it's my birthday week. Okay. Then it says the sting in the tail came as Baldoni's team broke their silence to say her claims of triumph are false, while hitting out at the statement Lively made last night, calling her partial victory a win for women. In a battling statement exclusively revealed to the Daily Mail, Bryan Freedman said her claims of sexual harassment that sparked the legal war are no truer today than they were yesterday, and thanked the public for their unmitigated support. That's us, you guys. That's us. Everyone, give yourself a round of applause and pat yourself on the back and give yourself a little hug. Do you guys remember when you were kids, you used to do that? Like, you would turn around and hug yourself and it would look like you were making out. Okay. In a battling statement exclusively revealed, oh no, we already read that. The statement read, Miss Lively and her team's predictable declaration of victory is false. So let us be clear about the latest ruling. While the court dismissed the defamation-related claims, the court has invited us to amend 4 out of the 7 claims against Miss Lively, which will showcase additional evidence and refined allegations. The case is about false accusations of sexual harassment and retaliation and a non-existent smear campaign, which Miss Lively's own team conveniently describes as untraceable, because they cannot prove what never happened. Most importantly, Miss Lively's own claims are no truer today than they were yesterday. And with the facts on our side, we march forward with the same confidence that we had when Miss Lively and her cohorts initiated this battle, and look forward to her forthcoming deposition, which I will be taking. We are grateful for the organic show of support from the public, that's us, and for the dedication of the internet sleuth community, that's us, who continue to cover this case with discernment and integrity. That's us. And then Blake, of course, says there has been no motion to depose Blake and extortion has been tossed from the case. But we know that they lie, guys. We know that they lie. They can only amend the claims of tortious interference and breach of contract. In December, okay, so then it goes through the whole case, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I will say this. Blake Lively really she she kind of like salt threw what is it? Salt in the wound. She poured salt in the wound yesterday when she posted this on her Instagram stories yesterday. And Blake Lively does something to me that only one other person in more recent history has done to me, and his name is Hank Brennan. He makes me a little bit they make me feel itchy or something. Like they give me I have an allergic reaction to people like Blake Lively, to people like Hank Brennan, to people like Judge Bev. Who else can we put in that list? It's liar. I mean, Ryan Reynolds for sure. It's liars. It is um they're delusional people, and they're incredibly challenging to reason with because she is taking headlines now, and I will blame the media for this too. And Elsie, Else Rich, she really truly oh, you guys have good names. Taylor Lorenz. Yes, add Taylor Lorenz to that list. But you guys know what I mean. Yesterday the media took this and ran with it, and the entire world out there immediately just decided Blake Lively won the case. Blake Lively won the case and Justin Baldoni lost the case. And everyone that hasn't been paying attention to the very, very, very like granular details of this case, like us, are saying, "Oh my God, it's over. Justin Baldoni is a sexual predator. Justin Baldoni sexually harassed Blake Lively," because they are not paying attention to the details. And this B, and by this B, I mean this Blake B. No wonder she loves the word B so much. She really fits in perfectly with the B word, right? She takes it and she runs with it because instead of just shutting up, she doesn't know how to shut up, talking about someone that probably gets in trouble all the time for talking too much. This one literally can't stop running her mouth. She doesn't just stop and just understands that, yes, fine, she did get a small win. I mean, she did get a big win. Okay, let's be real. She did get a big win. But I don't believe, in hindsight, looking back, I don't believe Bryan Freedman, Justin Baldoni, Bryan Freedman and the team, I don't actually believe that they actually thought they were going to win any of it. Now looking back, I really don't believe that they thought they were going to win. And I'll explain that in a second. I will. But first, let's go through what freaking annoying Blake Lively had to pour the salt in the wound and then act holier than thou. And remember when she did this freaking annoying Variety speech a few years ago with all those flowers behind her when Salma Hayek spoke for her and brought her up, and then she did that whole presentation on child pornography, and she like used the map to explain it, and then she did the fake stutter and the and the fake crying and the inauthentic BS that she does. This is what this is. It's all a virtue signal. I believe she's a big virtue signaler. She reminds me of a lot of people that we're seeing these days online, right? That love to just like talk about how amazing they are for all the humanitarian stuff that they stand for. But are they really? Are they really good people? That's how I really do believe that they are. And I just see right through her, right? All of these amicus brief people that spoke for her, I don't know how she was able to get them on board for her, but the judge specifically said that he read none of them. They had nothing to do with his decision. All of these organizations, these child abuse and sexual abuse, and all these freaking organizations that came forward and spoke for her. The judge did not in any way use these letters to make his decision. His decision, Judge Liman's decision, had nothing to do with her claims of sexual harassment. His decision yesterday, literally, Justin Baldoni could be a nun or a serial killer, and the decisions could have been the same yesterday. Has nothing to do with Justin Baldoni's behavior. Yet she decides to take this and spin it and run it and run with it as if like literally she is Mother Teresa. It's beyond annoying. And people fall for it. Her people fall for it. So many people fall for it. Last week, I stood proudly alongside 19 organizations united in defending women's rights to speak up for their safety. Like so many others, I felt the pain of the retaliatory lawsuit, including the manufactured shame that tries to break us. While the suit against me was defeated, so many don't have the resources to fight back. It wasn't defeated, it's still going on, Blake. I am more resolved than ever to continue to stand for every woman's right to have a voice in protecting themselves, including their safety, their integrity, their dignity, and their story. There are protections out there. Check out some of the incredible organizations below for resources and information. With love and gratitude for the many that stood by me. Many of you I know, many of you I don't. But I will never stop appreciating or advocating for you. B. By the way, it's not over, girl. She's acting like this was over. It's I won. It's over. It's over. And you know what? She gaslit so many of us, including me. Because yesterday when I recorded my video, I felt like it was over. I kind of did. Even though I knew it, like he could still appeal, I felt defeated because of this. I really did. I like sat like And then there's people like the Nick Viles and the Dumois and all these like Blake Lively supporters that are like, I always knew she could do it. Yes. And I just want to take an egg and throw it in their face. You know what I mean? So what happens is, at the end of the day, I watched, when I saw this, it really, it of course upsets me. It upsets me because the worst thing you want for people like her is this like fake or false feeling of victory. Like you don't want them to feel like they've won, but at the same time, you also don't want them necessarily to like it's almost worse if they think that they've won and they've like released this statement and it still comes back to bite them in the face. And there's a part of me that thinks that there may be a turn here because it's all for smoke and mirrors, right? It's all smoke and mirrors. Now, in terms of the judge, yesterday, a lot of you guys fell into this like hole of the judge is bought. The judge has been bought. He is a corrupt judge. He's not, look into his brother, look into his brother, look into his brother. Okay. You guys, I broke the news about his brother. I don't want to be like that girl that talks about, oh my God, I exposed it. But seriously, I exposed it. I'm not joking you. I told you guys about his brother in January. I was the first content creator that talked about the fact that Judge Liman's brother is in the industry. And I asked the question in January 25th. I said, is this a misuse of power? Is this corrupt? Is this too close? Is this something that we have to look at? And many lawyers in my comments here on YouTube, on Instagram, and TikTok, layman people like us said, yes, it's corrupt. This is so wrong. This is totally injustice. And lawyers said, no, it's not. I don't think it's corrupt. I don't think the judge was bought off. I don't. I think the judge is doing like a legitimate judge thing. I just think that sometimes judges make calls that are not what we like to hear. I mean, this happens in every trial, right? Like there's always going to be people on one side and there's going to be people on the other side. And that's the truth, I just don't think not everyone is going to agree with everything. But what Not Actually Golden, who is an attorney on TikTok and here on YouTube, said, which made me feel like, oh, okay, this makes sense. She's like, the judge made a call that maybe not all of us agree with, but Bryan Freedman and team, they threw a lot at the judge. They basically tried They made like a huge swing and it missed. And this is what you do in litigation. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes you try for something huge and it doesn't work. And that's all it is. That's all it is. It's almost like the $400 million number was so outrageous because they knew that they probably wouldn't win. If you know what I mean. I just don't think that they would give the judge this case if he was actually biased. I just don't think that they would give it to him. I think that the $400 million was so incredibly high so that it made a real stink because they knew that they probably would not win. Does that make sense? And we can still be upset about it. It's not that we can't be upset. Trust me, I am bummed beyond belief. But rules are rules. And she was protected because of the litigation laws. And that's true. And the $400 million number raised the alarm and got the world involved and got the internet sleuths involved. And guys, because of that lawsuit, we all know that Blake Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, are POSs, I think. And we truly all know that the two of them are bad people. They're bad seeds. They're not good-hearted people. This whole charade that she plays with, like, I care about women and I care about women's rights is bull, which is why when we watched that Ask Two Lawyers video the other day, it really upset us that when Stewart said, like, they are good people. No, I don't think they are good people. Have they done good things? Maybe. Maybe they've done good things in their lives, but I don't think at their heart they have good intentions because from what we've seen, you don't put the director in the basement if you've worked out your problems and the rest of production works out well. You don't get an entire cast and crew against your director and banish him to the basement with a cancer survivor who's on their Make-A-Wish Foundation moment, you know? There's bad things that they've done. Just 2 days ago, there was that TikToker that came out that said that Blake Lively was horrendous to her at Stony Clover shopping. She's not a nice person. This is multiple people that have worked with her over the course of time. Justin Anderson, the hairdresser, Kristen Cavallari's best friend, who knows many people who have worked with her. Every single person that worked on Gossip Girl doesn't talk to Blake Lively. Like, this is not fake news. She's not a nice person. So we can't fake that, but none of that would have happened if not for this lawsuit. We wouldn't have known all of this shit. And so this is important. This is all very, very, very important for us to know. And I'm glad that it all came out. But the fight and the legality is not over. It's not over. And Justin Baldoni still has a chance to get justice. And I'm happy that we're continuing this fight. And I really hope that Blake Lively gets off her damn high horse and stops pretending that she's just like walking away from it all up on this pedestal. Now, it's interesting who has spoken out since she has, and I haven't done like a deep dive, but since yesterday's news, because now you would think since yesterday's news, all of the women that have supported her would speak out, right? All of them. And who has spoken out? Amber Tamblyn. That's the only one that I've seen that has spoken out. Interesting, right? The one person that I have seen that has spoken out, and you guys tell me if I'm missing any because I'm not like, you know, constantly searching these people's Instagrams all day, every day. But the one person that I saw speaking out was, hold on. Oh, did she take it down? I saw it on something and now it's not on her stories. Huh. That's interesting. Really interesting. It's not on her stories anymore. It was on I saw it somewhere. Someone posted, Amber Tamblyn posted it on her stories, and now it's not on her stories anymore. So I don't have any idea where it is, if it is there anymore. But she did not, like, I have not seen one. Have you guys seen one person publicly speak out? Okay, wait, hold on. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it got deleted already. Here. I just found it. Proud of you, Blake. This is a win from women. This is a win for women everywhere who dare to speak out. Okay. If this is really her, I'm assuming it is. Okay. Um, this is the only person that has spoken out publicly. There's a lot about Amber Rose Tamblyn that I cannot handle. But also, I just want to say that Amber Tamblyn is the only one that has publicly shown any support of Blake Lively in the last month or two. And Amber Rose Tamblyn, I mean, if you deep dive a little bit about Amber Tamblyn lately, there's like a lot going on there. I don't really understand it, but it's really, really interesting because Amber Tamblyn and she's the one that she had that birthday party, that 90s party that Blake Lively dressed up with the Spice Girls outfit. Remember that with the butterfly things? And she went to her party, but she was the only one dressed like a 90s person. Not even Amber Tamblyn was. Amber Tamblyn, I think, is one of those people that is incredibly oh my God, I got 250 likes. I have to dance. I'll dance in a little bit. Don't worry. But I'll let people log off before I do my dance. Amber Tamblyn is an incredibly like women's rights feminist. Like she's incredibly like Liz Plank vibes. And I think that that's why she's so glommed onto the story, because it's less about even Blake Lively. It's more about women's rights and like speaking out, more like the amicus briefs vibe. I'm not saying that, whatever, but this is the point, is that they're sidestepping the fact that she didn't win anything. She didn't win anything. And this has nothing to do with speaking out. And this has nothing to do with the fact that she got sexually harassed. She's completely misstepping everything. So, okay. I'm sorry. I'm getting so frustrated just over Amber Tamblyn right now. But meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds hasn't said a word yet. Don't worry, he will. He'll have a beautiful statement in 5 seconds in a whisper voice, and he'll probably break out into song. And then, but where are her other comrades? Where are her co-stars? Where are those? Where is Isabella Ferrer? Where is Jenny Slate? Where are those people? Are they involved ever again? Colleen Hoover, do you feel bad ever about this? You know who is speaking off? You know who is speaking out? Is Liz Plank. And let's just do a little segment on Liz Plank. A little quickie. I'm going to turn off probably a lot of you in just the next couple of minutes. But I'm going to turn, but I can't say. Liz Plank she's like plankton. What's plankton? Isn't plankton like the little stuff that like swims in the ocean? Like the little, you can't see it. You can't see what is it called? What is isn't it plankton? Someone help me. What's plankton? I feel like that's something that I learned back in like biology class when I was a kid, like at the aquarium. Plankton. But before we get into plankton and Liz Plank, we all need to take a deep breath, because it's so important to work on our mental health. And the truth is, telehealth has made mental health care more convenient and accessible for millions of people. However, critical challenges like finding a suitable therapist, scheduling appointments, and the expensive out of pockets still keep many from getting the care they need. And thankfully, Rula is sponsoring this week's Daily Dose of Donna. Rula is on a mission to make high quality mental health care from a licensed professional easy and affordable for everyone. Rula has got you covered. They take most major insurance plans, and the average copay is only $15 per session. You can now get the quality care you need when you need it at a price you can afford. Rula isn't just affordable, they stick with you throughout your journey, making sure you get the best therapy and that you're just making progress. With Rula, every provider is carefully vetted and chosen for their expertise. You'll always know you're in the hands of quality providers who are dedicated to making real progress in your care. The first step on your journey to mental well-being is easy. Rula starts by asking you a few questions about what's important to you and then provides a list of licensed in-network providers who match your preferences. You can schedule your preferred time and meet with your therapist as soon as the next day. Thousands have already trusted Rula to support them on their journey towards improved mental health and overall well-being. Head on over to rula.com/dailydose to get started today. After you sign up, they ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them our show sent you. Go to rula.com/daily dose and take the first step towards better mental health today. You deserve quality care from someone who cares. Thanks, Rula. All right, Plankton. It's time for Plankton. So Liz Plankton had a podcast with Justin Baldoni, and she loved working with Justin Baldoni when it benefited her, as anyone would, right? Plankton loved planking on to Justin Baldoni when it benefited her. Because just like any other social climber, when something works well for you, you plank on, right? She loved to plank on to him. And then what happened was she worked with him for months after the supposed sexual harassment, right? Because the supposed sexual harassment happened in the late months of 20, let's think. When did the supposed sexual harassment happen? In the late months of 2023, right? To early 2024, like around that time. And then the movie premiered in 2024, mid 2024. And guess when Liz Plankton, and by the way, her name is totally just Plankton now. We're never calling her Plank again. Plankton is now worked with Justin Baldoni and Jamie Heath, both accused sexual harassers, both of them. She worked alone alongside, in very close rooms. You know, these podcast spaces, they're very quiet. She worked alongside them multiple times alone in a setting with them for months, all the way through December 24. December 24. In fact, I think it was December 2020, December 24th, 2024, when I was in Vegas. I remember Las Vegas. I was walking through the New York arcade when I was still on Blake Lively's side. I'll have you for those few days. And all of a sudden, I get a message that, oh my God, Liz Plank is speaking out about Justin Baldoni. And that's when I look, and sure enough, there's a message that Plankton is standing by Blake Lively publicly. She's walking away from Baldoni. She can't, she doesn't stand by abusers in this way because, she's a feminist. Well, I don't know. She stood by it for 12 months when she was getting paid. So that's weird. That's weird. And she's been close. She's been close with Blake this entire time. So, like, why did it take so long, Planky? But don't worry, Plankton just follows the next paycheck, I guess. And Katie Couric, who, don't get me started on Couric. I used to love her. Used to be the biggest fan of Katie Couric. Biggest. I loved her memoir. I listened to that memoir. I would DM her all the time. I loved Katie Couric. Now, I don't need to get into specific reasons why I've had a really hard time following her. It's not political. I got a DM this morning saying, oh my God, is it your politics? No, it's about specifically some coverage that she's done on a specific topic. It's been very hard for me to continue to follow her. But this has really been horrible and hard to watch. Katie Couric has teamed up with Liz Plank on this new podcast. And it's so, so odd. Katie Couric is a woman who is, I mean, how old is Katie Couric? She's, I don't know. I don't even want to like speculate, but she is in her, let me see if I can find, hold on. Hold on. Here we go. Here's the post. Okay. So here's the entire here's the video, right? So it says, hide your ex, wear a helmet, charge your crystals, and send us your boy problems. So this is the deal, right? She's 68 years old. Got it. All right. So she is 100%, jumping in with Feminista Fabulous and loving this idea of working with Liz Plank to do a show called Boy Problems. I have no idea what this could be about. I have what's happening here. I mean, if you guys are big fans of this vibe, I don't understand. But I guess this is a thing that people like. I don't understand, but they are maybe trying to be the next like Giggly Squad. I don't know. But people are really, really loving them in the comments. You should have picked Mean Enough as your new pod title. You used Ryan to get ahead and walk over Justin because he was less powerful. I can't wait to see your inevitable glorious fall. Liz is the kind of friend you wouldn't even want on your worst enemy. And she goes, got a boy problem, or are you the boy with the problem? Either way, we got you. What? So someone says, I just saw the funniest boy problem get dismissed by a federal judge in New York. LOL. Now, I don't know if her comment's still there because I'm not seeing it. Oh, yeah. Yesterday, she wrote LMFAOOOOOOO. So she's laughing at Justin Baldoni's downfall. She's laughing at the fact that Justin Baldoni is falling apart. His life is falling apart. This is funny. This is funny to her. This is a woman that had his back and was with him all the way until Blake Lively publicly went after him. But she was her friend this entire time. And she was his friend this entire time. So what happened? What happened? Monster. She's a monster of a woman. She's a monster wrapped up in a feminist. These women set women back. I'm convinced. Yeah, Carol says this perfectly. Couric sat by Matt Lauer and said nothing for years. Absolutely true. No respect for her. And she's a mother of all these daughters. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know what she's doing. She has been totally like her morals and values. And by the way, in her DMs with me and with multiple people, like it's awful, awful. People that I know have DM'd with Katie Couric. Like she's not like there's something going on there. I don't know what happened, but Katie Couric's like she went off the deep end. It's so sad. Totally weird. Oh, Enrique, she's the Jennifer Aniston morning show character. I said what I said. Who, Katie? Katie is? That is so interesting. What do these grown-ass women possibly have to say about boys? Is this like a dating thing? Because that's weird. Or like a child behavior thing? Because also weird. Interesting. Patricia, was she unkind to you, Donna? Yes. She was many times unkind to me in my DMs, Katie Couric. Very odd. Very odd. Okay. let's move on. So, I just think karma will work in an interesting way with all of these people. So I'm going to hold on hope for Justin Baldoni and Bryan Freedman. Good things will come to good people. And we'll continue to see Liz Plank grabbing men. Because I don't know if you've seen those videos where she just grabs men and she thinks that's okay. I guess because you're a woman, you can just do that. But men can't do that to women. So have you seen those videos? I don't know if I should show them to you or not. I guess there's a double standard. As you guys can see, I'm very frustrated. Okay. Should we move on to talk about the most amazing woman ever on the Karen Reed trial today? Okay, fine. I'll show you guys. Someone said, show us. Let's see if I can find it. It was like during the Donald Trump. She went to like an inauguration thing and she started, maybe not an inauguration. It was an election thing. And she started grabbing men like crazy. But I guess I think you can do that. You can go after men, but men can't go after women, I guess. I don't know. I guess those are the rules. If I can't find it in the next minute, then I'll move on. I'm just trying to call a spade, you know? Or as some people like to say, balls and strikes. Speaking of balls and strikes, did you guys watch my stories yesterday? Yesterday, I pulled up a story someone sent me, and I need to deep dive this Trevor Bauer story, who my son follows on YouTube. He's a pitcher, a Dodgers pitcher. I had no idea this story. He was a Dodgers pitcher. This is a crazy story, and a lot of you guys knew about it. This Trevor Bauer, he was a Dodgers pitcher, and a woman came forward and said that she was sexually assaulted by him. He lost his entire career. He lost everything. And then all of a sudden, she came out and she was like, I made it all up. And he has lost everything, basically. And then now she owes him money. This is a tale as old as time. It's really crazy. This is something that happens all the time. I mean, how many times is this happening to people that don't have big names? I'm not saying that all women are like this. I'm just saying that we have to look at these things a little bit with more of a zoomed out eye, you know? Oh, here. Touching men's waist because they can't stop touching ours. This is the word. This is the video. And then I'll move on. If you see, I'm not putting on the sound because I don't know if there's music. Do as I do, not as I say. Okay. Let's go out to let's go to the story of Karen Reed and talk about an amazing, amazing woman who was on the stand today. And of course, I haven't been following the case since this morning or since I started the show this morning. So please let me know if anything crazy has happened from the morning. But oh my God, I literally was clapping in my car as I was driving. I was freaking out. Before I get into it, I want to remind you guys that one of my favorite brands ever is sponsoring the show this week, and it's Hero Bread. Because Hero Bread is the best if you are looking to eat bread but don't want all of the carbs and you want high protein. Hero Bread is the best because you can focus on your health goals and still indulge in your favorite bready meals guilt-free, like enjoying a bagel breakfast sandwich, burgers, or brats with soft, fluffy buns, sandos for an easy lunch, or even meal prepped enchiladas. Their baked goods are mouth-watering while being ultra low net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, and are high in fiber. They have tortillas, buns, bagels, bread, all the things, you guys. You can get 10% off. Go to hero.co and use code DailyDose at checkout. I'm telling you, honestly, my entire family loves them. I specifically reached out to my podcast manager who does my ads when Hero and I work together. They sent me like a free box of their products to try. And when I was done with them, I sent my podcast manager a email and I said, please, please, please tell them to continue to work with me because I'm obsessed with this product. Like my entire family was like, no, can we just buy Hero bread? Like stop going to the market and buying regular bread, just Hero bread. This is high protein, low carb. It's so, so good. Okay, let's get into, so hero.co and use code DailyDose. Okay, guys, this morning was wild. I didn't get into Karen Reed yesterday because of everything that happened with Justin Baldoni. But if you guys want to talk about a freaking corrupt judge, that is Judge Bev. Yesterday was the most insane thing. I was so depressed yesterday because I also had the most depressing day because of this. And then there was all this drama in my personal life with the kids and camp and like getting them everywhere was like so hard. And then watching the Karen Reed trial made me want to pull my hair out because Judge Bev is basically like literally she's having sex with the prosecutor, okay? That's not really happening, but it feels like it's happening because they're literally it's not even normal how in bed they are with each other. I've never seen anything. The judge is so damn rude to the defense. And if this was not being aired, you would never be able to understand the reality of what's happening. Like it's not normal how bad it is. The way she talks to the defense is something that you've never seen. And it was bad at the beginning. Remember, this is the retrial. She's worked with these people already for an entire trial. She was horrible to them in the first trial. She gave the jury the worst instructions, which gave them the ability to not be able to give the perfect answers, which is the reason why we're doing a retrial. And she's back on the stand. She was bad in the first trial, and now she's even worse on the second trial. The way she talks to the defense is mind-boggling, you guys. It's mind-boggling. It's like if she was a mom and the prosecution was one of her kids and the defense was another one of her kids, anyone would say, you have a favorite kid. Like it's not even a thought process. You don't even have to know the case to know that she likes one over the other. So there's no way that the jury is going to like one for more than the other. Like there's no way. So yesterday was the craziest thing. They had the I'm pulling it up right now. They had let me get yesterday's on. Yesterday was day. Where are we today? Videos. Hold on. Live. Okay. Today. This is yesterday. Okay. They had Dr. Wolf, who is ARCA, and he is incredibly smart. He's the accident reconstructionist guy. He's the hottie. He's the one that makes me want to learn science and math all over again. He makes me feel like, okay. If you saw the video yesterday of him leaving trial and then a woman literally fell all over herself because she was like, Daniel Wolf. Ah. She is like, he is a handsome man. All right. He's like, he makes you want to go back to school, if you know what I mean. Okay. So he's on trial. And yesterday they had Alan Jackson started by doing how am I going to get this right? He does so he did his direct on Friday. Brennan did the cross. Then on Monday morning, Alan Jackson did the redirect. I hope I'm saying that right. And then Brennan comes up and does the recross. Okay. And as he's doing the recross, if you notice right back here, there's this clear acrylic like case right next to his body. And in this clear acrylic case is John O'Keefe's sweatshirt. But we don't know while we're watching it at all. But apparently, Brennan, the prosecution, is going to pick this up and use this as evidence to show that there's holes in the back of the sweatshirt. But we don't know that. And I guess the defense doesn't know this. The reason why he wants to show this is because he wants to kind of prove to the jury, see, the body was dragged after he after he got hit by the car, he had some sort of like road rash and he had these holes in the back of his sweatshirt. However, it was clear and it's evidential that those holes were made by someone that was dealing with the sweatshirt. I can't remember exactly who, this woman named Maureen something. So the holes in the back of the John O'Keefe sweatshirt were not from the accident. And that is a known fact. But Brennan, like, specifically wanted to overlook that, show the holes in the back of the sweatshirt for the jury, and just kind of like let the jury assume that he got that from getting pushed by a car. It was intentional and it was horrible. Let me try to get to the right spot. Hold on.
Does it matter whether or not the sweatshirt is tighter or looser or how it fits the body? Is that any part of your consideration?
No.
You wrote a report back on February 12th, whether it's true.
Yes.
Now, something happened here. I don't think he actually hold on.
And so while glass shatters, hits and moves forward into arms, parts of taillight.
The acceleration of...
You were asked a question about the arm being pushed by
Give me a second, guys.
Ask a bunch of questions about that, right?
There's so much like that happens. Okay. So he does that. And then they go into...
appears to support that.
Your Honor, may I have the exhibits marked for identification back for my argument?
So they go into, after that happens, they go into a recess. They call the jury out of there. And then Alessi here gets so mad and he decides, like, I need to get the evidence. And apparently what happened was the jury's out of the room and they're getting the evidence out of that acrylic, the sweater out of the acrylic, and they end up putting it in a bag. And this is when Alessi, Patricia has it. The lab took clippings from the back of the shirt. That's what happened. The lab took the clippings from the back of the shirt. Okay, here is where it gets crazy. I'm going to make it a little faster for time purposes. I'm going to put it on. Can I put it on 1.25? Let's see if that's fast enough. Alessi decides, I need to get that sweatshirt.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Madam Court.
Listen to Alessi's passion. His passion is just amazing.
Your Honor, what we just saw is Attorney Brennan question Dr. Wolf with regard to the hoodie sweatshirt that heretofore has been in the plastic casing for trial. And this is the, what happened was Attorney Brennan held up the casing with the hoodie sweatshirt, went to the back of the hoodie sweatshirt. First point to note, Mr. Brennan did not show Mr. Jackson the back of the hoodie sweatshirt, didn't give Mr. Jackson an opportunity to look at it.
Can I just ask a question? I noticed that it was over here at the witness stand this morning. So I assumed everyone was aware that something was going to happen with it. Is that not the case, Mr. Jackson?
That is not the case, Your Honor.
Okay.
The first time I realized that line
Okay.
of question was going to be asked was Mr. Brennan.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Alessi.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sucks interrupting
So,
him every second she
do
can.
it in order. Mr. Brennan takes the hoodie sweatshirt in the casing without notice, shows it to Dr. Wolf, and shows the back of the hoodie, which has certain holes, and I'm going to limit calling them holes to do this chronologically. I'm going to refer to exactly what they are in moments.
Okay, so I need to see it. I know you've got gloves on. Where is it right now? It would help me if you held it up for me now,
Absolutely,
Mr.
Your Honor.
Alessi.
So here is the back
Okay.
of the hoodie.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
It's very obvious that these are cutting holes cut by the criminalist. And I'm going to get back to this in a moment. But I would like to do it and certainly entertain any of your Honor's questions, but in a logical order.
Sure. So I'm not, what about the jurors and lunch? How long do you think this will be?
I think
She
this will take
asked-
about 10 to 15.
She asks, what about the lunch? He's like, this is a mistrial. Like what he just did is a mistrial. And she goes, okay, what about lunch? What the, what?
Minute, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay. I would die. If I was sitting here, you would see me roll my eyes the entire time.
All right. Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Leslie.
Thank you, Your Honor. So I just want to get the flow back going here in the logic. So, and I'll do it quickly. So Mr. Brennan grabs the.
Okay.
Mr. Brennan, you should come up and look at this.
Thank you. And I'm-
He shows her the documents, and then Brennan comes up and he says,
It'll take 2 minutes because it has to go.
All right. So go ahead with your argument.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Brennan says,
Okay, so Your Honor, I now have enough copies for Your Honor to pull this stuff. Why is this occurring, Your Honor? Why is this happening?
this is Alessi stuff.
The Commonwealth has no case. They have no collision. They are desperate and are trying to create evidence of specters of collision where the evidence doesn't support it. So what have we come to? We've come to the manufacture of evidence.
Billy says the jurors must see this. The jurors are not in the room for these arguments in these moments, which is so frustrating because these are the moments where the jurors get to go walk away. Well, they put the jurors in recess in these moments. So the jurors don't get to see these crazy arguments because they would notice this. This is so upsetting. But I do think the jurors must see certain things that they have to notice are so corrupt.
We've come to, incredibly, taking a hoodie, a key piece of evidence in this case, and holding up to Dr. Wolf, the ARCA expert, to try to make it seem like Dr. Wolf didn't do his job. You didn't account for these holes. How could you be a credible accident reconstructionist when you talk about some holes, but you don't talk about these holes? Knowing all along the holes that Attorney Brennan is trying to impeach Dr. Wolf on were caused by the Commonwealth's own criminalists as part of sampling. I don't believe one could come up with more misleading, misdirecting elucidation of testimony than this on the key issue in the case. We have irrefutable, objective evidence, and I will state that it's more than interesting that none of these exhibits that Your Honor now has marked for identification were put in evidence by the Commonwealth. Isn't it some coincidence that these are the one and the only one of the, with regard to the hoodie, the back?
I like listening to him speak even faster. It's like, so I freaking love him, but I'm so freaking over him, over her. So he's getting really pissed off. Now, Brennan comes up with his annoying voice, and I'm going to make you guys listen to it fast because it's even better. This is what he says. I can't handle his voice. I want to throw up.
Your Honor, my brief review of the lab paperwork and looking at the hoodie, it appears that I made a mistake.
I made a mistake.
And so I think what should happen is there should be curative instruction. There should be a stipulation. The court should instruct the jury that during Mr. Brennan's cross-examination, he asked Dr. Wolf about holes on the sweatshirt or holes on the back of Mr. O'Keefe's sweatshirt. The parties agree the holes were made by a crime lab technician. This was done inadvertently but should not have been asked. The court should strike the questions and the answers. And you should instruct the jury to completely disregard any questions or answers about the holes in the back of the sweatshirt.
So he says, I made a mistake. You should tell the jury to disregard it. So then this woman says, okay, I'll do it.
Okay.
Of course we're listening.
All right. So it's what I said, Mr. Leslie. I instruct you that you're not permitted to draw an inference that
So
the
she
holes
starts writing notes.
came from the events of January 29, 2025. Those holes were made by the criminalist, Ms. Harnett, during the course of her inspection and sampling of the sweatshirt on May 18, 2023.
Is it possible, Your Honor, last comment, to, instead of not drawing inference, you should conclude that these holes were not present in the hoodie sweatshirt?
So Alessi's saying, okay, do that, but also be very clear about saying A, B, and C. Like, it's very important what you say to the jury, Judge, to make sure that they know that those holes had nothing to do with the accident of the night of January 29th, 2022.
They were caused by the criminalist of
So I can just leave that all out then and just say, Mr. Brennan asked Dr. Wolf about the holes in the sweatshirt. I instruct you that those holes were made by the criminalist, Ms. Harnett, during the course of her inspection and sampling of the sweatshirt on May 18th. It's probably neater that way anyway. All right, let's bring him in, please.
Judge, just as a housekeeping matter, the sweatshirt's been taken out of the plastic sheet. It might need to be remarked. The plastic sheeting was marked, but if we're going to put it into a bag or something like that, we might need to have it marked. But we don't need to do that right this second.
May I approach Mr. McDermott with you?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'm sorry. Measurements?
Go ahead.
Your Honor, if I could be able to show the exhibits from Ms. Hartnett or the cuts, along with the fact that we're trying to show the cuts.
Unless he's still talking to her.
Well, I say it, and I'm going to tell her what they are. So
Consistent with Your Honor's explanation.
no, I want you to hold it up with the back. You do that first, and then I'll give the instruction.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I want to see where she says that exact word. She says something like, if you're not going to listen.
Mr. Alessi, you're simply going to stand and hold the sweatshirt, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
This is exhibit 223.
And Your Honor, we hold it, as your Honor begins to read, is that consistent with Your Honor's explanation?
No, I want you to hold it up with the back. You do that first, and then I'll give the instruction.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I can't remember exactly where it happens that she
So
says
if you're not
this.
going to listen to it, that's
Oh,
fine. I've
there
already
we
said it.
go. Okay, listen to this.
Your Honor said that rock wasn't present, on about time against.
So I do say that when I say Ms. Harnett did this. So rewording it just a little bit.
Yes, exactly.
Mr. Brennan asked Dr. Wolf about holes in the back of the sweatshirt. I instruct you that you are not permitted to draw any inference that those holes were a result of the events on January 29th, 20. So, all right, this is what I'm going to say. So if you're not going to listen to it, that's fine. I've already said it. All right, we can bring the jury in.
Oh my God. Do you guys hear that? She goes, okay, so this is what I'm going to say. Oh, okay. If you're not going to listen, then that's fine. Bring the jury in. Because he probably looked away for 1 second. Like we do with our kids, you guys. Can you imagine? As if we're talking to our kids. Oh, okay. If you're not going to listen, Dylan, then I'm not going to even say it again. This is such important. This is this woman's life. This is not, it's not even Justin Baldoni's $400 million. This is murder charges. She's so annoyed with him that she wants to shut him up. Oh my God, it made me crazy. So then she comes into the jury and this is what she ends up saying to the jury. Let me see if I can get it.
Okay, thank you. Let's go ahead and
Shows
put back in
this
the bag.
letter.
So jurors, I instruct you that those holes were made by the criminalist, Ms. Harnett, during the course of her inspection and sampling of the sweatshirt back on May 18th, 2023. Okay, so I know your lunches are here, but I think Mr. Yannetti.
That's all she says. She doesn't even mention the fact that they had nothing to do with the night of the actual argument. The actual incident. So she didn't even say the right thing after all of that. She totally lost half the statement. And then they can't fight it, you guys. That's the thing. One thing I learned about this trial is that they literally cannot fight anything. Everything that they say in this court, they have to ask her for permission to even fight. It's so frustrating. I want to die watching it. Okay, so yesterday was a nightmare to watch. But then today, let me try to find what happened today. And I'm just going to be able to show you guys just a little bit of what happened today. It's done for the day, but we had this doctor. Okay, Dr. Laposada. She's amazing, and she is a defense witness. Now, Dr. Laposada is so smart. And yesterday, she was on they did a voir I can never say it. Voir dire, because prosecution is we don't want her to testify saying that there were dog bites, even though she knows dog bites. She's an autopsy specialist. This is what she does. But they were we don't want her to do dog bites. She is she understands, but they are adamant she cannot talk the word dog bites. Fine. Our poor defense team is like, fine. They get her on the stand. There's so many other things that go wrong, but because of timing, I can only talk about this one thing. They finally get her on the stand. She's talking all about the fact that John O'Keefe did not die from falling onto grass. This big ass thing in the back of his head, the big cut on the back of his head is not from a flat surface. There's no way. He fell, he hit something with a ridge, a curved ridge, a heightened ridge. I think it's from a weight. There was a weight room where in the basement, and it seems like he probably fell onto a weight, like around, like at the gym, like you put it on a bar, right? And it sounds like that's what it is. I watched a TikTok, maybe I'll find it for you guys, where it looks like an impression of the rounded side of a weight. And she's like, that is what it is in his autopsy on his brain. It doesn't look like he fell on grass. We didn't see any protrusion in the grass. We didn't see any rocks. It was grass, and it didn't look like, yes, the plates of the weights. Thank you. So she's talking about all of that. She's talking about the fact that on his arm, she's not allowed to say the word dog, but she can say animal bites. None of it makes sense. She's saying that he had the animal bites while he was still alive. It didn't happen after he died, et cetera, et cetera. So as she is getting cross-examined by Hank, and this is the wildest cross-examination. It's so hard to watch. It's so annoying to watch because Hank is just such an annoying voice. His voice annoys me, as I'm sure you guys agree. But so let me see if I can find the moments. Hold on.
You mentioned something about what a
This is still Alan.
Looking at his head injury.
That he was, I didn't understand, you had your hand in front of your
Sure,
mouth.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You talked about a head injury that missed periorbital ecchymosis,
Yes.
and that's sometimes called
I'm going to make it a little slower
Well,
here.
periorbital ecchymosis just means bleeding and bruising around the eyes.
And you saw the bruising around Mr. O'Keefe's eyes, didn't you, in the photographs?
Well, it wasn't bruising.
Sorry.
Yes, I saw the scene photographs of when the snow was removed, and it was,
This over 40 years, did you say?
of course,
In those 40 years, depressed fractures can happen from sharp objects?
sure.
Did you look at any of the data evidence from the defendant's Lexus?
Right
No,
here.
Other than looking at the contours of the back to see if it had impacted Mr. O'Keefe.
When you were doing differential diagnosis, did you look at any information that would tell you what the speed of that impact may have been or allegedly was?
Well, it didn't hit him, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. So you didn't care to know anything about the car, the data in the car, because you had already formed your opinion?
It did not hit him, so it was not relevant to my opinion.
Is that a different way?
By looking at the body, I could tell that there was no evidence of impact with a vehicle.
Is that
So whether the vehicle was going slow or fast is not relevant.
and so you didn't try to get any information about the speed of the vehicle? It was totally irrelevant to you?
Correct.
And did you also disregard, well, let me ask you, do you ever look at statements?
He's like,
I look at witness statements if they're available to me.
Were any of the defendants' statements made available to you?
I did hear some of them,
Did you consider the ones that you heard?
of course.
okay. Now, this is the most desperado thing that he does after this. Right after that, they call a sidebar. Okay. And immediately, what do you think Brennan does? He immediately pulls up this old case that happens in 2005. And he says, you know what, Dr. La Posada? She was fired from a job in 2005. I don't think she's a credible witness. He had all of yesterday during the voir dire to do that. He had right before she even testified to do that. And then he never said a word until she said that. Now he's like, you know what? I don't think that we can trust her. I don't think that we can trust her. I think that we've got to get her out of here. She's not a reliable witness. Oh, you hear that? And guess what Judge Bev says? Yeah, let's bring that up to her. We should talk about that. A doctor is like, why would I look at a car and the speed of a car? This body did not die from a car impact. Done. Done. This is a guy that brought in Burgess, who lied on his resume for 20 years saying he's still trying to get his bachelor's degree. Oh my God. Oh, and on top of that, Brennan, this guy who's trying to discredit her as a witness, has used her as a witness multiple times and a consultant. It's like he is grasping at straws. It's making me insane. Oh my God, yes, you guys, this is like the craziest thing. But I will tell you that this has been such an incredible turn of events. It has been, honestly, these last couple days with trial. And I can't believe I'm going out of town on Saturday. And if Karen Reed doesn't wrap up before this end of the week, and what if the trial what if I'm out of town? I'm so stressed out. I'm stressed out about all of it, but I really, really hope that we have good news by the end of this week. For my birthday tomorrow, I hope we have good news. I really do. And because how many likes do I have now? I promised you I would dance. I promised you. So we got to get a good dance going on here. And you know, the only thing I can think of to dance is, what's my theme song again? Someone had my theme song. Someone knows my theme song. What is my theme song? One of you guys found it. I wish I knew my theme song name. Hold on. I have it. Downloads. I think I have it somewhere. Try to find it one day. Everyone just says, can you imagine? Oh, I know where I can find it. Don't you worry. I will say, you guys, it has been quite a ride. What is my theme song called? Someone told me once. Is this one? Hold on. One of you guys DM'd it to me. Feel the magic? Is that what it's called? Everyone's like, wait, why am I here? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I'll find it. People are like, you're wasting my life. I'm so annoyed because, oh! Is this it? I think I found it. We found it. Look at this amazing YouTube song, guys. I'll see you guys later. I'm not even wearing my watch. I would have set my watch for a dance party. All right, you guys, I love you. I'll talk to you guys later. See you tomorrow for my birthday show. Bye.